Time for Lance and Larry tracking the Pack, the Vikings edition. We bring in Larry McCarren, the analyst on the Packers radio network. And Larry, it's only 6 games. Packers back on top of the NFC North. Mike McCarthy kind of downplayed it. How big is it, though, that they're back in first place?
Well, it beats the heck out of the alternative there, Lance. I think Mike McCarthy's point is that it's important to be there at the end of the season, and that's when it truly matters. But all things considered, after the 1-2 start and so forth, I think it's a good place to be. But again, as the head coach, as a tone setter, you can't act satisfied about anything until you get closer to the end.
Larry, I think Jermichael Finley was playing like a top 5 tight end in the National Football League. He will be missed. Nobody can actually replace him, but is Andrew Corliss up to the task? Because so far his career, a lot of injuries and a lot of lack of production.
Is Andrew Corliss going to be anything like Jermichael Finley when it comes to catching the ball and run after the catch? No. I mean, you're replacing an apple with an orange. He's just not that type of athlete. But Andrew Corliss can be an effective tight end. He can do the things tight ends can do, and he is a pretty physical blocker. He brings that to the party. But is he going to be anything close to Jermichael Finley and the things he brings to the party, talent-wise, athletic ability-wise? No, I mean, you're just asking too much. And I think Mike McCarthy made a great point this week when he said, all I want Andrew Corliss to do is be Andrew Corliss. He doesn't have to be Jermichael Finley for the Packers to be effective offensively and win football games.
Every week, Larry, we talk about the rookie left tackle, and David Bakhtiari is always up to the challenge. This week, he gets one of the best in the NFL, Jared Allen, with all that noise and on turf. Once again, is the rookie up to the challenge?
Well, history says he will be. He's facing a challenge and a half. Jared Allen's playing well. He's got 4 sacks, but he applies a lot of heat. Not a bad player. As a matter of fact, a pretty good player against the run as well, and a very crafty veteran. He's kind of a counterpuncher. He comes off the ball, and he's looking at the offensive tackle, looking for him to make a mistake. So David Bakhtiari will have to be very, very fundamentally sound in his technique. But he's not the type of young player that any game, any situation, any opponent is too big for him. He's not going to go into the game intimidated in any way, shape, or form. I think one of the challenges that he may have not seen before is Jared Allen with the crazy noise at the stadium they used to call the Metrodome. I mean, that could be a factor. It's not easy.
Larry, I tell you what, Adrian Peterson obviously is one of the best, if not the best, in the entire game. The Packers, 3rd in run defense, 79 yards per contest. Adrian Peterson coming off a game where he only had 13 carries. You figure he's probably going to get more carries, and he had 409 yards in the 2 regular season games last year, so quite a titanic matchup for the Pack.
Oh yeah, it's huge. If I were the Minnesota Vikings, and I've been saying this for years, I would give Adrian Peterson the ball every play. That's their best chance to succeed offensively. Now, Peterson has been a little sluggish lately. I think in the last couple of games, he's got like 23 carries for like 90 yards. Very pedestrian numbers. He's due for a breakout game, but getting it against the Green Bay Packers, who nobody has run the ball successfully against this season. They're allowing just 3-4 carry, and they seem to be a tougher, physical, saltier outfit. I mean, they're serious about winning the battle up front. Minnesota Viking offensive line not playing that well, and Adrian Peterson, he's got the personal issues, which are very unfortunate, also got a hamstring, and just has not looked like Adrian Peterson the past couple games. We'll see what happens Sunday, but the Packers, they appear from their track record, what they've done so far, to be ready for this type of challenge.
They definitely are, Larry, and I tell you what, yeah, Peterson, you mentioned the hamstring issue, but somehow, some way, he always seems to play big against the Pack in the Dome. And then Christian Ponder, he gets the start over Josh Freeman. Is that an advantage to the Vikings because at least he knows their system?
We'll see. I mean, Ponder, I don't know what happened with him. I mean, he seemed to be a decent starting quarterback. I mean, not elite certainly, but a decent starting quarterback. Got him into the playoffs last year. And then this year, the first 3 games of the season, he leads them to 3 straight losses. And he throws 5 interceptions in the process. and he's on his way out the door. They spent a first-round draft choice on the guy. He's on his way out the door, and then NFL being the NFL, and injuries happen, and now he's getting new life, getting a second chance. But he's not an elite quarterback on his best days. The Green Bay Packers, they control Adrian Peterson. I think they control the Minnesota Vikings offensively.
And Larry, final thing, I like to call it the Jennings junk. Obviously a lot said by Greg Jennings in the offseason about his former team and Rodgers' leadership and all that stuff. Is that a lot of media hype, or is there something to it? Because Mike McCarthy did talk about Greg Jennings in his bullet points earlier this week, and to try to make sure that the team plays within themselves and doesn't get like a personal foul penalty or get carried away with the whole situation.
Well, I think when Mike referred to his bullet points, they have, quote, media bullet points that they talk to the guys about, so they say nothing, absolutely zero, that would inflame the other team. And I think that's the bullet point Mike was making. Now, what the Packers actually harbor in their hearts about Greg Jennings, I really don't have a clue, because they haven't said so. But the thing that matters, the war of the words, it's all a bunch of stuff for us to get excited about, for us to play with, for us to think it's a big deal, but it's really not. The real war of words is one with what you do on the field Sunday. The Green Bay Packers win this game, hey, they get the last word. If they don't, well, then Greg Jennings gets the last word.
Larry and I will be a part of the pregame coverage from 5 to 6 right here on your local NBC affiliate. You've been watching Lance and Larry Tracking the Pack. See you in Minnesota.